Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and we are back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. Your boy's back at it. Salutes to everybody. I'm having so much fun. I am hyped today. We're going to be talking Jets. I apologize to everyone about we had technical difficulties on the last show. Wasn't able to do one last week. It was out of our hands. But here we are, ready to talk Jets again. Salutes to everyone in the chat. Tyrone Nichols, Rusty, Nick. Salutes to everyone that's joining. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're going to be talking about quite a bit tonight. We're going to be discussing the signing of Solomon Thomas. We're going to be discussing the New York Jets needed edge rusher. Todd Bowles is now the head coach of the Buccaneers. There's a lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. Draft. We got a lot coming up. So, again, call in. But before we get into it, listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. All right? Listen, your boy's on iTunes as well, man. Come on. Go on iTunes, all right? Go on iTunes, and then guess what you can do? Hit that subscribe button on iTunes. Type in The Long Beach Joe Show, all right? Hit that subscribe button and listen to your boy's podcast on there as well. And leave me some feedback. I need some ratings. Give me a 5-star rating. Tell me about what you think of the show. I want to hear it. Salutes to everybody that already does that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that stops by and tells me what they're thinking, what's going on. Hit me up and let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what your thoughts are about the show. I want to hear it. And for those of you that don't just want to listen to my smooth voice, all right? For those of you that just don't want to do just that, for those of you that also want to see your boy, because I'm handsome, all right? I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real around here, okay? Yeah, your boy's all right. You know what I mean? I'm looking good. I got a face that's made for TV. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Then guess what you can do? You can come on over to YouTube, okay? Come on over to YouTube, type in Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube, okay? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all be in the know. You know what I mean? We have a lot of fun. We talk Jets over there. I put up Jets content. We also game. We have a lot of fun over there. All right? I'm also on Twitter as well. The show's page is at The Long Beach Joe. All right, go ahead and follow me on there. My personal Twitter is YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. All right? Go on over there. Follow me. We can go back and forth. I'll follow you right back, and we'll get to it. And for those of you that also want to really be involved with your boy, I have a Discord. You go to any of my social media that I brought up, my Facebook page, any of the Twitter page, my link tree is there, okay? You click my link tree. It has the link directly to my Discord. Go join my Discord. You see what I'm doing, Discord mods? Do you hear me? All right? Y'all get after me all the time. I know. I got a Discord, everybody, okay? Join my Discord. You know, go back and forth. Chat it up with me in there as well. We have a lot of fun in there, too. All right? We talk about a lot of things. We talk about the Jets. We have fun. We do that. Got people in there talking about anime. I'm talking about food. We having a blast. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back and forth in there. Get to my Discord. Get to my Discord as quickly as possible. There you go, Discord mods. So salutes to everyone. It's been quite a week, and there's quite a bit to discuss. We're going to get to the lines in a second. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We'll get to the lines in just a second. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. I call my chat savages. Why? Because they are savage, okay? They're savage. No one is safe, not even me. Not even me. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Now let's get to some Jets news, all right? Because we've been getting into it, all right? The New York Jets have signed Solomon Thomas and Greg Zuerlein, all right? Solomon Thomas was signed to a one-year deal worth $2.25 million. 1.91 of that is guaranteed. I thought this was a really good signing by the New York Jets to bring in a guy, a solid defensive lineman to really help us in a position of need that we needed. We really need to continue to better and bolster this defensive line. We lost Foley Fatukasi in free agency. As you remember last year, we struggled to stop the run. Struggled. We need more beef up front. We need more guys that are familiar with scheme that can get after it, and that's exactly what Solomon Thomas is. Now, again, Solomon Thomas did tear his ACL in 2020. You know, it was actually against us, which was crazy. They absolutely spanked us in that game that we played against the 49ers. That was the game where we just got ran all over, man. Whoa. I remember that game like it was yesterday. We got completely destroyed in that football game. But he went down in that game, and, you know, we were able, you know, as the season continued on, and again, even in that game, you saw the brilliance of Robert Saleh because he lost a lot of guys in that game, and he had injuries coming in on defensively anyway, and then guess what? They just continued to ball. That defense continued to go on. But, you know, as time continued on, he was able to find himself on another team as well. And a lot of people immediately, when the New York Jets brought him in and were able to get this signing, well, they said, hey, this is not, you know, the big signing we need defensively up front. Whoa. I told people, this guy's going to help us. He's going to help us within the rotation. Has he lived up to that, you know, being the third pick overall? Not yet. But he's a guy that can come in and help us. Again, he was with Robert Saleh 2017 to 2020. He understands what he needs to do in the system. He understands his responsibilities within the system as well. All right. And again, this is a guy that can come in and really help us in that defensive rotation. Now we're looking at a situation where we got Carl Lawson, who's coming back. We'll see what we get from him. You got Sheldon Rankins still on the defensive line. I know some Jets fans want to get rid of him. We're going to be talking about that tonight. But he's a guy that can still make an impact here. Quentin Williams, who we're hoping to really take that next step forward this upcoming year. You got Shepard, and then you got John Franklin Myers. So we're starting to really continue to build a line that's gonna be able to stand up to some of the issues that we had last season. They're not going to be getting pushed around and bowled over like they were last season. Again, especially with the addition of Solomon Thomas. And he's very versatile as well. He can play inside, outside in the scheme. We need that. So I like this signing. We're going to be discussing it again tonight. We also brought in Greg Zuerlein. Listen, Greg Zuerlein is coming in, and he's going to be challenging for that kicking spot, all right? He was on the Cowboys last season. Last season, I think he went 29 to 35. He missed like 6 extra points. That's one of the big things about him. He's got to clean up. He was also 42 of 48 on field goals last season. So, of course, we released Matt Amendola when we actually brought him in, and we were also able to re-sign Eddie Pinheiro. So they're going to be battling it out for that kicking position, man. They're going to be battling it out, and I think that is good. We need to have competition at every single position on this roster. Nobody should think, hey, my spot is safe. I don't really have to put on, I'm just going to go out there and try my best. Oh, no. Competition at every position. You need to know that there's some guy that is waiting in the wings if you cannot stand up and do your job correctly. And the New York Jets have had issues at kicker for so long, I can't even think of the last time we had a decent kicker outside of Jason Myers. The second we let that guy go, we've had issues ever since then. Ever since then, there's big-time issues. For bringing in guys like Vidvik to just a wealth of guys that just never worked out here. You know, so we're trying our best to find a solvent to those issues. And Greg Zuerlein being brought in to compete with Eddie Pinheiro, we're going to see what happens as we continue forward. The New York Jets also need to do something huge in the draft coming up. We need to address this edge rusher position. We need to do that. It must be done. I'm continuing to preach that. We're going to be discussing that tonight as well. Carl Lawson, of course, he's coming back, but he's coming off that torn Achilles. We don't exactly know what he's going to bring back to us. I know a lot of people think that Carl Lawson is the ipso facto guy. We don't have to worry about anything else. We got him. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you, you need to worry about it because he's coming off of a torn Achilles, okay? Guess what? We don't know what he's coming back as. We don't know exactly where he's going to be when he comes back. And even if he was fully healthy, he's only had the most sacks he's ever had in the season is 8.5. We need more than that. In today's NFL, it is about what? Offensively, it's about the guy that can throw the ball, and it's also defensively about the guy that can chase the guy and get the guy that's throwing the ball. You need pass rush in this league. This is a passing league. This is an offensively driven league. You need the guy or guys to absolutely destroy people's offense. And when you look at how we're built defensively, or how we should be built defensively. We should be built like the Niners. And I'm going to continue to say this. The Niners secondary, they got some solid players. But the way that defense works, what makes this defense go, okay, is pressure. Bosa, Warner, all those other guys they got up front, you got about a second to make a decision before you get crushed. That's how this defense works. This defense is built from front to back. It's all about pressure up front. It's all about winning the trenches. It's all about destroying people. It's all about getting after the quarterback. That's what this defense is built on. That's what Sulla's defensive philosophy is going to bring to you. Pressure, 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 relentless pressure, and we don't have enough of that. So we'll see what Carl Lawson is bringing when he comes back, but I don't think we should just depend on him. You got John Franklin Myers, but John Franklin Myers, we've seen him disappear during seasons. A lot of people wanted to talk to me about Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams had 6 sacks last season. He's been battling injuries, but he is not an edge rusher. He's not. People talk to me about interior pass rush. Listen, I get that. I hear the interior pass rush stuff. But unless you're telling me that Quentin Williams is going to get us 15 to 16 sacks a season, that's not enough. It's not enough. I think that Quentin Williams is a guy that a lot of the things that he's going to do is going to be amplified when we add pass rush. Because then guess what? He gets his one-on-ones. If Quentin Williams is going to take that next step this year, that's what it's going to be from. We added pass rush to where we can no longer double team Quentin Williams and not have to worry about anything else. Nope. You're going to have to man up on this guy, and he's going to absolutely destroy anybody in front of him. But if you're thinking that Quentin Williams is going to give you Joey Bosa numbers, I'm sorry. I can't see it happening. We also added Jacob Martin as well. Jacob Martin is a guy that's going to come in and really help us within the rotation too. So we see what we get out of him. We just added him from the Texans. But when I look at this pass rushing issue with the New York Jets, the first thing I think is we must attack it in the draft. We must. Now, we've been able to shore up things, especially in free agency. A lot of the moves in free agency really helping us going forward. It's really cleaning up, the look of the New York Jets. It's really cleaning up the idea of what we should do in the draft upcoming, especially the signing of Lakeland Thomas. That really helped our offensive line. That opened up a lot of our options. Us, bringing back Braxton Berrios, signing DJ Reed. We're talking about Jordan Whitehead as well. We were able to clean up a lot of issues, getting those 2 tight ends. That cleaned up a lot of our issues so that we can kind of focus in and hone in on other positions of need here. So when you look at the New York Jets, I'm looking at the draft, and I'm saying edge rusher must be addressed, and there's quite a bit of edge rushers in this upcoming draft. Of course, Kayvon Thibodeau is there at 4. I wouldn't mind the New York Jets taking him. I know that there's a lot of people that are not interested in taking him. We're going to have that discussion tonight, too. We're definitely going to have that discussion tonight. There's a lot of Jets fans that are not interested in taking Kayvon Thibodeau, and I want to hear from you. I've had people call in before and give us their take on that. But I like Kayvon Thibodeau a lot. If he's there at 4, I think the New York Jets take him. But what if he's not? I think that's a question that New York Jets fans need to start exploring. What if he's not there at 4? What if the teams before us take him? Then what do we do? Well, I'll tell you what. I could see the New York Jets trading down because there's quite a bit of trade partners that are quarterback needy, okay? I'm talking about teams like the Atlanta Falcons. I'm talking about teams like the Carolina Panthers. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan right now, you need to be looking over your shoulder, all right? You need to be looking over your shoulder because there are teams that are prepared to jump you to find their franchise quarterback. And I would utilize that if I'm the New York Jets. I would utilize that if I'm Joe Douglas, and I would look at the Carolina Panthers and say, hey, you want to sit there at 6, you're going to find yourself on the outside looking in because this kid Malik Willis, let me tell you something, he's lighting it up. Pro Day, Combine, he lit it up. People were thoroughly impressed. Pro Day had people jumping over the moon about him. So now we're going into the draft, and I'm telling you, everybody swoon over this kid. He's the bee's knees. You sit at 6, I'll make sure you get jumped because Atlanta is hungry right now. Missed out on Watson. Matt Ryan's not there anymore. You can't tell me the quarterback they got now is the future. They're looking for their next guy to continue to build around. Because they've got some players over there where they can still make a run if they get a young quarterback in there that can hold the fort. So I'm looking at Carolina, and I'm saying, hey, give me what you got. Also, again, Atlanta could be a spot that we trade down to as well at 8. And there's other pass rushers in the draft outside of just Kayvon Thibodeau that we could be looking at both of those spots. Travon Walker could be one of them from Georgia. Let me tell you something. This kid right here, man, you talking about shooting up the board? He's shooting up the board right now. All right? 6'5", 270, ran a 4.5 at the combine. Man, it's insane. He had 6 sacks in his last season, bunch of tackles. This dude can get after it. Versatile, can be moved around, can play end in a 4-3. He's looked like what we need, and he can provide pressure. He's a guy that could be an option there. Also, when you look at the New York Jets as well, they're sitting at 10. I could see them taking Tremaine Johnson. This is a guy that performed very well at the Senior Bowl, named shooting up, Florida State. He's a guy I think could absolutely be had right there. The New York Jets could solve this issue at pass rush in this upcoming draft. And then guess what? We'd come out with a bunch of pass rush. We'd come out and be a defense to be feared. We'd be able to get after your quarterback. We'd be able to disrupt your offensive philosophy and scheme. We'd finally have somebody that can rush the passer adequately. The New York Jets have not had a pass rusher since John Abraham. Think about that. Offensively driven league. We have not had a pass rusher since John Abraham. It's disgusting. So we're going to get into it. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. I'm about to get to these lines. We're going to be discussing it all. The New York Jets defensive line, some of the signings that they've made. Again, Todd Bowles is now the head coach. Now the head coach of the Buccaneers. That's our former head coach as well. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the New York Jets wide receiver position. There's a lot of people that are screaming for A.J. Brown. A lot of people screaming for him. Do you think the New York Jets are going to be able to make a trade to swing for him? We've seen them go after Tyreek Hill. Or maybe you want Deebo Samuel. There's a lot of talk about him, DK Metcalf as well. What are your thoughts about Jameson Williams? He's shooting up too. There's a lot of Jets fans that can't wait to talk about him. So we're getting into it. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers. So we're about to get to these lines. First caller I'm going to, my guy, Rusty. Rusty, we're coming directly to you. Rusty.
What's up, Joe? What's up, Savages?
What's going on, Rusty? You already know what time it is. Listen, I want you to give me your thoughts on the New York Jets signing Solomon Thomas. What are your thoughts about what he brings to the Jets defensive line?
Oh, I love it, man. I really do. It's perfect with Salah. He knows the philosophy. He knows it works. He could tell the other guys seen it work. And, Salah messed up in a way, to correct his own wrong. And he's like, hey, man, I'm going to place you on the inside. So, and that guy trusts him and trusts the system, knows the system works. So I love it. And what'd they get him for? Like 1.9 or something? 1.2?
Yeah, 1.91 guaranteed. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, that's a score. You're going for it. The guy's young enough, and you're aware of what he was, prior. You drafted the guy, so I trust just Salah. Absolutely. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you look at the situation now with him added to our defensive line, what are your thoughts about pass rusher, man? Because there's a lot of talk now that we got Solomon Thomas in the building. Of course, that's added to the depth of the defensive line so that we can kind of help out against the run. But how do you think the New York Jets should attack the pass rusher position? What are your thoughts about taking Kayvon Thibodeau at 4?
I'm good. Thank you, though. I respect you, Joe. You know I'm a Thibodeau type of guy. You know me.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to hear. Okay, so I want to
cool
hear
with
it.
it though.
I'm asking. Okay, I'm asking, Rusty. I'm asking.
Yeah.
If Kayvon Thibodeau is there for, I just want to be clear because I want to hear your take.
Yeah.
I want to go back and forth with you. If Kayvon Thibodeau is there at 4, you would like to see the New York Jets pass on Kayvon Thibodeau. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to me why that is?
Absolutely. If for them to do it, also, like you said, Malik. Hopefully, that kid's flying up the charts. We were talking about it, like a month or two ago, me and you and the Savages over here. You could just see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how everybody gets, and then once everybody really sees the kid, that's a wrap. So everyone's gonna be foaming out the mouth, and rightfully so. So you're gonna have, like you said, you're gonna have Carolina. They have to be looking at him. Same thing with Atlanta. Then all of a sudden now you have New Orleans with 2 picks, also that they can come down to offer. That's 16 and 19 that they just got. And I would trade 4 for those 2 picks, 1,000%, and I would progressively trade up if I couldn't get those. I mean, I'd be the kid at the dinner table, just be like, gimme, 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 take as much as I can in the first, and just attack the second, and just work with what you got from there. Look at the positions and just fill your needs. Because if you're not, in my eyes, going to be able to get the best edge in this draft with Hutch, why, and if we were going to go for defensive tackle in the second, third, around there, because we definitely need one, that's for sure. Why not get Jordan Davis, plug up the middle? The guy constantly, you need to double team that guy, and then that frees up everything else. That's a major reason why also Georgia did so good. He didn't get a lot of sacks, but he plugged that hole. You have no choice but to, double team the man. That young kid is like 6'6", 340, a maniac, and he just craves to hit it, And
so
I think that's what we
question.
should do at 10.
Okay, so here's my question, because I want to stick to 4 just for a second with you, Rusty, because I want to hear this take. A lot of people don't believe me that when I've gone back and forth with multiple Jets fans that want to pass on Kayvon Thibodeau. So here's my question.
I'm one of those guys.
When you look at Okay. I just want to make sure, because people be thinking I'm lying. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at this situation.
You're speaking the truth.
Right? So when you look at this situation, right, and we talk about holes with the New York Jets, we talk about issues on the roster, edge rusher is the first thing that absolutely jumps off the charts when you look at this defense, right? So you're talking about Hutch. You think that Hutch is the best pass rusher in the league. Get it. But if you can get a dominant edge rusher, right, the second, in your mind, the second best dominant edge rusher in the draft, how do you pass up that when edge rusher has been such a big issue, particularly this season? You look at the last year, we were ranked 32nd in the league defensively. We were awful, and it was because quarterbacks had 40 years to throw the ball against us. How do you pass on Kayvon Thibodeau and everything that he brings to the table if he's going to be sitting right there at 4?
Because I don't think, with all due respect to you, man, I don't think Thibodeau is the second best defensive end coming in this draft. That's just me personally.
Who do you think is the second best?
Yeah.
Who do you think is the second best?
I mean, it's a little bit of a clutter. I mean, you got Walker in there. You got, I think Chanel is probably going to drop down onto an edge, honestly. I think that's what people are going to be looking to do. I think Maffei's, I love Maffei. That guy's a beast. He just does nothing but progress over the past 3 years. And, that kid is that silent but deadly. And that's all he does. He's just hungry. I don't know. And then watching Thibodeau, and I don't know. He turns it off, man. And that's what turns me off about it. Like when he's on, he's on. There's no denying that. But just seeing Otten work him, then Otten broke his will. I saw that game when they were playing Washington. That's what caught my attention. What was it, like 2 years ago? I think it was like 2019 or whatever. And Thibodeau was killing it still. But Otten broke his will that game. And then after that, I started paying attention to those little things, and I started seeing that as well, as the years progressed, and then even then. So, but, I've seen him give up on plays. It's tough for me, man. It really is. I honestly see like an Albert Hainsworth in a way, to where the guy's going to go animal, and then he's going to, try and market himself. Yeah, Albert Hainsworth was the man. Dude, that guy was nasty for like 3 years, and then all of a sudden, he got the $100 million contract, and that was that. I don't know. I see a simple. I don't know. That's just personally how I feel.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he won't be a bust, but I'm saying that he's gonna. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from the kid. Honestly.
All right. I hear that again. And that's some of the things from what I've seen. This kid is phenomenal. He can get around the edge. Of course, he's a guy that's going to have to learn some things, just like every young player is going to have to do when they come into the league. He's definitely going to be worked with our coaching staff. They're going to continue to help him add pass rushing. But this dude is tremendously athletic. He's strong. He can get around the edge, bend the edge. I think he's the best edge rusher in the draft, to be completely honest.
Talent. I mean, you can't deny his freakish ability, but how are you going to make, it's up to him whether he wants to go 100%, And unfortunately, I don't see that all the time.
So now I want to talk to you a little bit about the offense, man. I want to talk to you a little bit about the offense. Now, when you look at this offense, right, there's also a lot of talk surrounding A.J. Brown. A lot of people are taking his tweet. A lot of people talking about him and possibly the New York Jets adding him, what is the most that you would give up for A.J. Brown if you're the New York Jets general manager? What would you actually approach the Titans with to try to get trade for him?
If he didn't have like a trade clause or whatever, and he was a complete free agent, I'd be like, you know what, go for it. I do not like giving away the draft capital in Zach's second year of the rebuild. If it was next year, I'd be cool with it, but I don't want to Diggs it. Like what Buffalo did. Buffalo did that in the second year. Yeah, granted they went to the AF Championship, but then they regressed the next year. They barely beat above 500 teams, and then they got worked. You could see their wills getting broken. I just don't want to jump the gun, and I just see how we're building the foundation. So unfortunately, I wouldn't want to give up really any picks. Unless, we were to trade out, a 4 and then get those picks back, then I'd be cool with it. But I don't want to shoot us in the foot, take us, step forward and 2 step backs in a way.
So you're
That's
a guy
my only concern.
Go draft. You only want to take draft. You don't want to trade for a wide receiver. All right, I hear that. So my next and final question for you, Rusty, before I let you go is, now we're hearing a lot of talk from Jets fans about Jameson Williams, right? He's a guy that's going to be sitting in that draft. What do you think about the New York Jets with him? If you were to take Jameson Williams, are you concerned about his injury? Because he's a guy that's built on speed. That ACL injury doesn't scare you at all?
Those things terrify me. I sort of blew mine to pieces, but, they do have good things, and that was a while ago, no doubt. But I don't know, man. Like, it just scares me with all the Lawsons, and just, especially too at a Jabo. I love the kid. It's so unfortunate that he tore his Achilles. I couldn't touch him in the draft, low or high, however you want to call it. And that's just the red flags to me. Unless you're producing in the NFL, then I can take a shot at you because I already know what you were working with. No disrespect to what you did in college, but I can't really grade you on that alone to take you high if you're injured. That's just how it's scary to me. It's like a D. Milner. I get flashbacks. So, I get that PTSD type of thing from those.
So what wide receiver would you target then if you're not interested in Jameson Williams because of his injury?
A little bit later, honest to God, call me crazy, but, I like Kyle Phillips and I like Eazy-E, Erica Zukanama. Those are my 2 dudes, honestly. And, that's how I roll. But, I just see the front half of just get the teeth of the defense, linebackers, lineman, edge, center. That's what I'm hoping for, and then I trust JD too. So if we do get, pull the trigger on AJ or Brown or whatever, that's the one guy I would want to get if it was going to be a wide receiver. Gun to my head, that's the one dude I'd want. But I would also want us to trade out of 4 so we can at least try and claim back or reclaim some of those picks that we lost and just keep it moving, because this is a very good draft class for, those types of guys that you need for us to plug in. So we're not Swiss cheese. We're one single block. That's how I feel.
All right, look at it.
Hoping for.
I hear you, Rusty. Rusty. Listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Thank you for calling. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, Rusty?
1,000%, fam. Salute, Savages, and salute to you too, Joe. You have a great one, brother.
Absolutely. Salutes, Rusty. You have a good one. Listen, I want to hear from people, all right? Everybody been, all of a sudden, there's so many people jumping off the Kayvon Thibodeau bandwagon. I want to hear about it. People be thinking I'm lying. I have so many discussions with Jets fans that will tell you they do not want Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. I want to hear about it, and I want to get into it with people, all right? 515-602-9639. Call in. Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. The lines are hot. Be patient. We'll get to everybody. If you're a new caller, please no, okay? Don't call in and hang up, call in and hang up. When you call in, I can see you, all right? Wait on the line. We'll get to everybody. Also, make sure that your phone is good to go, all right? Don't call me from the back of a Sega, all right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Have your phone together, all right? And clean up the background noise. I need to hear you, and so does my audience. Don't call me from the bottom of a Pringles can, okay? Get a good phone. Let me know what's going on with you. I want to hear. So we're going to get back to these lines. Also, please give the stream a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you'd like to give to the stream, my Super Chat is there. My Cash App is on the screen as well. If you just want to hit me through Cash App, anything that you give to the platform is greatly appreciated, all right? And please share the stream with your friends and family, too. I love, being able to connect with other people as well. So now it's time to get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to 914. 914, I'm coming directly to you. 914, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and what are your thoughts about the New York Jets signing Solomon Thomas?
Hey, Joe, this is Nick from New York.
Oh, what's going on, Nick? How's everything going with you, my friend?
That's okay. Let me tell you something. I like the Solomon signing, but when you started talking about Tebow, I want Tebow here, either Tebow or Hutchinson. That's
okay,
who
so
I want
Thibodeau.
here. Thibodeau,
okay.
Yeah, Tebow. Well, I could just cut it short and stuff.
Okay.
And I disagree with your last caller. Your last caller, what you have to be doing is that you have to discipline these young kids. And Salon has the courage to discipline these young players if they don't play up to their potential. If you're going to pay them a lot of money, they have to play up to that potential. And that's coaching.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Thibodeau. Listen, I think that for some reason Thibodeau's got a bad rap. I don't think that he is what a lot of people are saying he is. I think he's a high character guy. He's met with a lot of teams. We've heard him talk. He's a guy that speaks well. He's a guy that's able to convey his message well. There's been a lot of scouts that have talked about him being an alpha. He's a guy that comes in and is able to lead. He's able to captivate the room. I don't know where this rap has come from, that all of a sudden he's lazy or that he's stiff or that he's a guy that gives up on plays or all these things. I've heard this before about players in the past. And guess what? They've been able to come in the league and absolutely clean house. So I don't know about all these takes of Thibodeau being the bad guy all of a sudden and getting the bad rap, man.
Right, because see, the media always like to produce their own guys. I bet you in Michigan, Hutchinson is being progged up for Detroit, maybe, and stuff, and that's what happens. And all these guys like Mel Kiper Jr. and McShay, I mean, they all want what they want these people to take. It's not what they need. This team needs, for me, I've been a Jet fan. I'm 72. I've been a Jet fan for 62 years from the very beginning when I was 11 years old. And the one thing I've always believed in, and this is the way how I think, is that you always build a team from the inside out. So I want to really reinforce the offensive line and defensive line to the point where the defensive line, I want the New York Sacker change back. That's what I want. I want the Jets to get the back newspaper. I want Thibodeau. I want Quentin Williams to become like a Joe Klecko type, move around in 2 or 3 different positions, change them around like the Rams do with Aaron Donald. I mean, look what Donald never stays in one position. He's always moving around, so they have to think where he's at.
I mean, you bringing the heat right now. You bringing the heat. You talking. Listen, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm hoping that Quentin Williams take that next step forward. But again, like I spoke about earlier in this show, I think he's a guy that once we add pass rush, once we bring more guys that's going to be able to get after the quarterback, get around the edge, and really put pressure on people, he's going to greatly benefit from that. Now, I heard what you said about you want the sack exchange, right? Now, if we get Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, what are you doing at 10, man? Would you be okay if the New York Jets went pass rusher again at 10? Is that something you'd look forward to?
No, I want Liederbaum.
Oh, you want
I want that center.
Okay.
And I want them to then cut McGovern. Well, because first of all, he's a monster center. He's a thinker. To me, he's a cross. I get the college football package. I see him almost every week. He's a cross between Mangold and Mawar. And Mawar is a Hall of Fame, and I hope Mangold will become that too. That's what he is. He's the leader in the center. And why couldn't the Jets run? Even you said they had the worst offense because they couldn't run.
No.
And if you can't run between the guards and the center to get that 1 or 2 yards, then Tucker must be bad. The good doctor that we had that we're not going to get, it must have been bad. Somebody, how come nobody could run?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't even think about that. You brought up a great point. I talked about that. I talked about how bad our run game last year was. A lot of people talking about Connor McGovern was a top 10 center. We had the 27th ranked rushing offense in the league. We're in a run-first offense. I know a lot of people don't remember that, but I'm here to remind you. The Niners have a run-first offense. That's what the Shanahan offense is, all right? The 49ers literally run with a myriad of running backs every single year, guys that nobody would know if you walk past them in the street, right? The last year, their leading rusher last year was an undrafted rookie free agent. They run with like 4 guys every single year, and they're running the ball hard and heavy. We could not run the ball at all this year, at all. We tried it. Don't say that we gave up on the run early because we didn't. We tried against Carolina. We couldn't run the ball. We tried against, Denver. We couldn't run the ball. We tried against multiple teams, and we could not run the ball. We had a 100-yard rusher once this year. Once in a run-first offense. This year we had a run for a 100-yard rusher, and it was Michael Carter. He ran for over 100 yards once this year. That's atrocious in a run-first offense. You cannot do that. The best thing you can give a young quarterback is a competent and sufficient run game. Competent and sufficient run game. We don't have that. So we've got to clean that up, and like you said as well, adding Linderbaum to this offensive line would make us immediately better. Right? That would help Zach Wilson. It would protect him. Our offensive line would be solid, but also it would help Michael Carter. A lot of people don't talk about him when they talk about our offensive plans. Michael Carter showed strokes of genius this year. At one point during this season, he was literally our offensive playmaker. He was doing everything. Go back and watch that Bengals game. He had a hell of a game in that one. He was catching the ball coming out the backfield. He was running all over the place. It was insane. Better than the offensive line doesn't just help Zach Wilson. It helps the rest of our offense as well, man. I love that take. I absolutely love that take. So my final question for you is this. There's also a lot of talk about Carl Lawson, man. You talked about the sack exchange. You talked about this defense. You talked about getting better. What do you expect from Carl Lawson when he comes back, man? Because he's coming back from that torn Achilles. Do you think he'll be able to immediately start off the bat and really give us big production? I think we lost him. Okay, we're going to continue to get back to these lines. We lost him. Hopefully he calls back in. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. These lines are hot, man. We also got to talk about this draft trade between the New Orleans Saints and the Eagles. Whew. They made some moves. We'll get into that in just 1 second. So we're going to get back to these lines. 646-646. I'm coming directly to you. 646, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on the New York Jets pass rushing situation, man.
Yo,
646, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me your thoughts on the New York Jets pass rushing situation, man. How are you feeling about it?
Yo, this is Aiden from New York. What's up, Long Beach Joe?
Nope.
How you doing, bro?
What's going on, man?
I'm all right. So about the pass rushers, that's what you're asking me?
Absolutely. What are you doing at pass rush? A lot of people talking about Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. Are you with that? Or are you a New York Jets fan that wants to see us pass on Kayvon Thibodeau?
I've never been on a Kayvon Thibodeau bandwagon, never has been. Won't be. He's a diva. To me, he's a diva. To me, he's like that pretty girl who's been told he's been pretty all his life. So you can't tell him nothing. And, he's been a high school prospect, number one high school prospect. So he's probably, he's already had his brand. He's already talked about his brand. He hasn't played one snap in the NFL. So that worries me. I can't risk where we need a pass rusher who's worried about football rather than his brand. We're just not that good yet to have who might be our number one pass rusher because Carl Lawson probably not going to be 100% off of Achilles, and he's worried about building his brand. And
okay, so here's the deal. Okay, so first off, I want you to clear it because you sound a little muffled. I don't know if you got a mic piece or move your phone just a little bit because I want to be able to hear you, all right? So kind of clean that up just a little bit. But I hear exactly what you're saying. Yeah, that's a lot better. Thank you. So I hear what you're saying, right? I hear that you're one of the guys who wants to pass on Kayvon Thibodeau. So I'm saying if you don't want Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, then what are you doing at 4 to adjust New York Jets pass rushing situation? If I'm forcing you to do something. Say it again.
I want George Karlaftis. I've always been on his bandwagon. So what Thibodeau has
you're the
is
first,
a get off.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me you're willing to take George Karlaftis at 4?
Absolutely. You go back, you look at his tape. I see Thibodeau, he takes plays off. You say, why do people call him lazy? It's not because of what he says. I mean, he wants to throw the ground. I get that. That's cause for concern. But, I mean, UCLA was his best game where he had, 3 sacks. But half those times, like 3/4 of the time, but outside of 3 sacks, he's doing nothing. He's getting impaled on blocks, doesn't have good hand placement, not getting off blocks. And he has one move, which is he gets upfield, he beats you around the edge. He doesn't bend around the edge like a Joey Bosa. He doesn't even bend around the edge like a Von Miller. He just beats around the edge. You're not beating NFL tackles just around the edge with one move. Now, if you go look at Karlaftis, especially that Notre Dame tape, he's getting doubled and triple team all the time. He's using rip moves. He's using swim moves. He's using his hands. That's what you're going to need in the NFL. He has an arsenal of pass rush moves. And actually, he ran a faster 40 than Aiden Hutchinson, who to me is the number 1 pass rusher in this draft. But Hutchinson ran a 4.75. They say, Karlaftis is not an athlete. He's not an athlete. You got to look at his tape. He has a get off. He has hands, and he ran a 4.71 at his pro day. So I think he gets a bad rap because I guess he'd be, how should I say, quote unquote, like that high school prospect that everyone had a whole history about, like Kayvon Thibodeau. He didn't have a breakout year because he got injured. But before he got injured, he only played 3 games or 4 games. He got 3.5 sacks. So what's that telling you? And then you look at his other team, double and triple team, and he's using hands to get off. So he just engages well. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a more complete package. We need a steady guy who's worried about working, and he runs down plays. If the play's away, Thibodeau's like, nah, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for, I'm gonna save it because I already know I'm a number 1 draft pick. I don't want that guy on the Jets, right? We talk about all gas, no break. I want an all gas, no break player. I don't need a diva or someone who might even show a diva bias or a diva like tendencies. We don't need that.
Okay.
Even if he plays well, he's going to ask for more money in his 3rd year in his rookie contract. Like, he gives me those vibes. So why deal with that?
How do y'all know? Everybody is saying that. Oh, well, the year 3 he's going to be out. How do y'all know that? Y'all don't know that.
Because he said, I'd rather go. This is exactly what he said. He said, I want to go to Oregon to work on my brand as opposed to Alabama to win championships. When you say that, how do you put this man on your team? If that's your quote, you tell me. If you're the GM, would you want him? I don't want to win championships, Joe Douglas. I want my brand.
Listen, I look at talent, okay? I look at a guy that clearly, listen, he loves football. We know that, right? He goes out there, he puts it on display. If the guy wants to work on his brand, it is what it is. But when you go out there and you look at the talent, look what he puts on the field, I'm with it. I just don't understand how everybody all of a sudden, again, is talking about that Kayvon Thibodeau is not the guy that they wanted. And I hear it, and I want to hear your takes. We can go back and forth, but I'm really intrigued by this. It's kind of crazy to me. So as we continue on, right, clear, you want Karlaftis at 4, which I haven't heard anybody say that. That is a very interesting take there. So now I'm looking at pick 10, right, because that's what we got. What are you doing there? What if I force you to go pass rusher twice, who are you taking at 10?
Well, you're going to force me to go pass rusher twice?
I'm forcing you to go pass rusher twice. Okay, but I'm forcing you. Here's why I'm forcing you. I'm forcing you because I don't know what Carl Lawson is going to come back looking like. I don't know. So if I don't know, I need to ensure that I have another young body in there in case he comes back and things just don't work out with him. That's why I mean in case
Carl Lawson comes back. You mean Carl Lawson, not Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson. In case he comes back and he's not 100%, I want another pass rusher at 10. So you told me you're taking Carl Lawson at 4. Okay. So what are you doing at 10?
Well, at 10, I think you have either Jermaine Johnson or you may even maybe Trayvon Walker, who's getting a lot of hype, which I'm not see, I like his attributes, but it's a total projection because he can produce at Georgia because all they do is they stand there. They play them at D tackle, right? So he's locking out and shedding. He's not getting up the field like we do. And he's not an attack. He wasn't an attack style defense, but he has the projection running a 4.5 40 to actually do what we need to have done. He does have some explosiveness. But I think I like what Jermaine Johnson did in the Senior Bowl. He put it on tape. So as where we are with the Jets, I need someone who puts it on tape. So for me, Carl Lawson put it on tape, right? He had and Johnson. He went to the Senior Bowl and dominated in the Senior Bowl, right? So that's what I want. So I want guys who put it on tape. So I want to take all my, it's always a crapshoot, but I want to have certain odd enhancers to let me know I could be comfortable with this. But with that being said, I wouldn't even do at pick 10 another edge rusher. I mean, to me, that's kind of overcrowding things. I mean, they did bring in what's that guy from the Texans, Nick Martin. You still got Bryce Huff.
Jacob Martin.
Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin.
Yeah.
You still have Bryce Huff. You can always kick out JSM to the edge if you need to, even though he's better as a 3 technique. So, I mean, to have another one from the first round when you really need a number 1 receiver, like a Drake London or Garrett Wilson, I love Drake London. I mean, he runs with such violence. He's not fast, but his acceleration and the way he high points the ball. I mean, I know that's your dude at USC. You said you can't go wrong at USC, man. I'm on his bandwagon.
I don't want to. People, how they do, Ed, and they call your boy a homer, but I'm
here we go. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want a wide receiver in this draft, you know what I'm saying, that rhymes with Schmake Schmunden, maybe you get Drake London. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If you want a guy that's going to come in, I'm telling you, big body, guy that can go up and get the football. Yeah. Stop saying that he can't run because he can. All right, he can run.
Good route runner. Good route runner, too, for his size.
Good route.
Yeah.
Good hands. Like, come on, guys. Let's not, be tripping. But, okay, so if I didn't force you to go pass rusher, you're going Drake London at 10. I want to get your thoughts on this, though, because there's a lot of Jets fans that are also talking about, hey, why even take a wide receiver in the first round? People are talking about Jameson Williams, constantly talking about him, right? Give me your thoughts about the possibility of New York Jets taking him in the second round. That's what all the Jets fans are saying. All of a sudden, it's all about Jameson. All of a sudden, give me your thoughts.
Tell those fans you don't have to crack pipe. He's not making it to the second round. Stop it.
Okay.
And I saw they showed on Instagram and showed him running again. It's over. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you really wanted to get risky, we could take him, trade back maybe with the Saints or someone like that. Maybe the Saints need a quarterback or if they're looking for something like that. Maybe we take the risk on him, and maybe for the first 4 weeks of the season, we just rock out with our 11 personnel set if you want to go Jameson Williams. He is, in my opinion, the number 1 receiver if he didn't get hurt. The speed is just elite, I love Drake London, but, I mean, speed kills in NFL, And you know what's so funny? I think I love Drake London personally. That's my personal man crush. But as far as the system fits, it might be Garrett Wilson. Because, I mean, he's probably faster than Drake London because, I mean, he's given up, 30 pounds on, given 30 pounds on London. But he's crisp out of his routes. And when Zach Wilson did have success in college and in the NFL, those receivers getting open. And, when they were plastered, like in a Buffalo game, he was running for his life. So maybe with the scheme, it might be someone gets open. But, I mean, I just see so many things with Drake London. Dominating in the block, dominating at the catch point, just bodying people, coming back to the ball. And he played with a garbage quarterback. I'm sorry, I know that USC is your team, but Slovis is garbage. But he made him look good.
Oh, I know.
He made him look good.
Oh, I know.
He made him look good. I love Drake London. He is. If I could, it might sound crazy, I would double dip. I go Drake London at 10, and maybe in the second round, John Mechie, because John Mechie, he can get open. The other Alabama receiver who hurt himself with the ACL. So, I mean, if he's on that Jameson Williams program, he could run like Jameson Williams can now. I know he's not as fast as Jameson Williams, but he gets open. So, and then I see Drake London replacing Corey Davis because we only got him on contract for one more season. So, he could be that big wide receiver that we need. So now we talk about for the future. So we have a separator with John Mechie, and we have someone who can play above the rim with Drake London. I think we give Zach all the help he needs to prove it. Are you our franchise guy or not? Shit or get off the pot.
Okay.
No excuses.
Okay. Watch your language. Watch your language. Don't.
Oh, copy. Sorry about that. Yeah,
it's okay. It's a family show. I understand. We get heated, but please don't curse on my show. So my final question before I let you go, because the lines is hot, man. There's a lot of talk. I know we just talked about taking guys in the draft, and there's a lot of Jets fans that are set on draft only. Draft only. Only draft. Don't trade for any guys that's out there. But there's a lot of rumors swirling about DK Metcalf or A.J. Brown. Would you like to see the New York Jets trade for either of those guys? And if so, what is your preference? This is my final question for you. I'll let you have the floor.
Wow. I think I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. I mean, the guy's a specimen. He can give you size. He blocks. He has hustle. I mean, I remember that play where he ran down. I'm trying to remember that safety from the Cardinals when he picked it off. That shows me that he loves me. That to me is an all gas, no break type of player. And he plays above the rim. He runs good routes, and he has like 4.3 speed. He's just a specimen. People like that don't come around very often. Like, he's built in the lab. Mm-hmm. So if I had my preference, it'd be him. Even though that Brown and Elijah Moore are friends, I don't need a pen pal. I need a number one receiver.
Okay, so if we're talking DK Metcalf, before I let you go, what is the most that you're willing to trade for him, right? And also, if he comes in, because according to reports, he's looking for about $20 million per season, are you willing to give him that?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we have the cap space. We have it for a reason. Got to use it on somebody. We had that rookie contract with a QB. So before we have to pay a guy like Zach Wilson or Quentin Williams, see if Quentin Williams even makes that second step. Give it to someone who's actually produced and is most likely to produce. He's not been injured. He's 25 years old. So I mean, if Tyreek Hill, who's he's more accomplished, but he's a lot older, so he has more upside. So I can see him giving him the Tyreek Hill deal, which is the 2-2s. And I'm sure Seattle's probably going to want one of their first-round picks. I mean, maybe you do that and you give it away and you, you help Zach Wilson, make that determination so you really evaluate him like we didn't do with Sam Darnold.
Okay. So I know you and again, this is my last question before I let you go. I know you said the 2-2s. What if they don't want that? What if Seattle says, give me a 10th-round pick, give me that back, and then give me a second-round pick? Are you willing to do that trade?
Absolutely. For DK Metcalf.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, is he better than every receiver in the first round? Yes. Is he better than every receiver in the second round? Yes. So that's a no-brainer. Okay. And do you have the money? Yeah. It seems like everyone's fitting all these receivers under the salary cap. The Saints are in salary cap hell every year, and they fit people on there. So why can't we?
Yeah. I mean, you push things back. You just swiping that credit card. Eventually, you're going to have to pay. And we're seeing that, teams eventually are going to have to pay. Listen, Aiden, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Listen, you brought the fire tonight. Go ahead. You brought some heat, man. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in. I got to get back to these lines. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
You too. Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Listen, Aiden calling in with some heat. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Please, when you call in, be patient. The lines are hot. We're getting to everybody tonight. New callers, don't call in and hang up. Call in and hang up. I can see you, okay? Just call in and be patient. Wait on the line. I'll get to you. Also, do not curse on my show. I'll get you out of here, all right? I know the Jets. We're having a lot of fun. We're going. We're keeping it moving. We're popping and shaking. But, please don't curse on my show. You curse a lot, I'll get you out of here fast. I'm talking fast. Faster than we got Adam Gase out of here. Get your ass out of here, Gase. Damn, get your ass out of here, man. I am so glad that guy is gone. Damn. Woo! Fella all the way. We're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Next, I'm going to 703. 703, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on the New York Jets pass rushing situation.
Hi, my name's Angelo. I'm from Virginia. And I
have what's going on, man?
About pass rush, I have a question about, your picks, your 2 top 10 picks.
Okay,
cool.
First, no problem, but give me your thoughts on the pass rush real quick. What are your thoughts about Carl Lawson? Are you confident he's going to be able to come back and give us the type of production we need?
his Achilles injury is like concerning because like you can't really like move that well after I feel like, so like that's concerning to me. And then I'm not really like a big Jets fan because my friends are Jets fans. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
that's
really
fine.
know.
So give me what? Okay, so what is your question again?
So if you guys have the 4th pick and you pick Thibodeau, and Hamilton falls, would you want to take Hamilton, like Garrett Wilson, or like a corner like Stingley? Like, what would your choice be out of those?
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question. So when I look at the situation, if we have Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, I have been big, and I'm going to continue to talk about how we need to address the trenches. Listen, I think Kyle Hamilton is a phenomenal player. I really do. I think he's a great safety. But we no longer need a safety. We don't, and even if we did, safety wasn't that much of a priority, okay? Especially over some of the issues that we have already. So I would look to take either, if another pass rusher is there, I'm taking another pass rusher because I don't know what Carl Lawson is coming back at, right? I don't know. But there's also this kid, Linderbaum kid, there's a lot of talk about him being there at 10. The second that I can better this offensive line, the second that I can shore up that center position to ensure that Zach Wilson is never running for his life again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because we have been looking for a quarterback so long, a franchise guy in this league for so long, it's insane. We had issues protecting Sam Darnold. That cost us with him. That costed us draft capital, and we wasted capital on him as well because we never built around him correctly. Now he's gone because we could never figure out what he was and what he wasn't. Same stuff that happened with him, taking shots, running for his life, not being able to go through his reads. We saw the exact same stuff go on with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson comes into this year, gets destroyed against Carolina, gets destroyed against Denver, gets destroyed against New England, and in the second game against New England, he pops his PCL. Goes on throughout the season, tells us publicly that the knee is not healthy until they shut him up. He literally was saying that in interviews that his knee doesn't feel the same. So guess what? I don't ever want to see that happen again to a New York Jets quarterback. I'm going to shore up that center position so we walk in with an all-star offensive line and we absolutely destroy you. You'll have 30 years to throw the ball, or we're going to have such a sufficient running game that we won't have to worry about much. That's what I want to do there. So either I'm going pass rusher again or I'm addressing our offensive line with center. I'll give you the last word before I let you go.
For Linderbaum, he's not supposed to, like, go in the top 10. Would you be willing to, like, risk it and trade back to, like, the 20th? Or, like, trade with, like, the Steelers and say, a quarterback and risk that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Here's the thing, is I hear a lot of people say that he's not going to go in the top 10, but I don't believe that because he's a generational center. He's a generational center, right? So if he's a generational center, there are definitely teams out there that are going to need offensive line help, that need a guy that's going to be able to block, and they're going to take him top 10. Quentin Nelson was another guy that was talked about as being generational, was taken at 6 by the Colts. And nobody's saying that's a bad pick. Nobody. So I know that people are saying, oh, he's not going to be a top 10 pick. There's always guys in every single draft, oh, he's not going here, he's not going there, and they always go higher than they're supposed to. Always. Last year we were shocked by guys that were taken, oh, he's not supposed to go in the first round, and they were taken in the first. So if you're the New York Jets and you want to aggressively attack a position of need, if you want to make sure that your quarterback is going to survive so that we can figure out whether he's good or not, you shore up that offensive line with Linderbaum and you won't have any problems. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So,
I got
listen, Angelo, I want to thank you for calling in, man. You have yourself a good one. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right, my friend?
I got you. Appreciate it.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Angelo called in with some heat, man. He called in with some heat. I ain't going to lie, you know? Why? We're going to keep getting busy to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Please give the stream a thumbs up and share the stream as well with your friends and family. Share it across your social media. Let people know what we're doing here. We're talking Jets fast and furious. If you want to give to the stream, Super Chat's there. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. Again, when you call in, I know I have some new callers. Please be patient. We'll get to everybody. All right? We got to talk to everybody, so please be patient. When you call in, make sure your background is good and make sure your phone's good. Please do not call me from the bottom of the dumpster. Don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. All right? Move those trash bags aside. Get out of there and call me from a good phone. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear you. Please don't call me from the bottom of a milk carton. Don't do that. All right? So we're going to get back to these lines. Next, I'm going to my guy, Joe. Joe, I'm coming directly to you, 973, my guy, Joe. Salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. Listen, we're talking about New York Jets pass rush, all right? We're talking about a need there. A lot of people saying that they want to pass on Kayvon Thibodeau as 4. Are you one of those fans that wants to do that as well?
Actually, not really. The main reason why is I know the attitude issues are kind of a concern, but to be completely honest, look at last year's Defensive Player of the Year, their Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons. He had attitude issues. People were talking about him having, being not really a team player, and look at him. He's a Defensive Rookie of the Year. And here's another thing I want to mention. If we pass up on Kayvon Thibodeau, look who's right behind us, New York Giants. If they take him and he becomes LT 2.0, we're not going to live that down. We're never going to live that down. Giant fans are going to mention that to us for years. They're going to keep saying, hey, you passed on Kayvon Thibodeau, we got him, and he's one of the best defensive linemen ever. So, not ever. He's our best defensive lineman. And watching his tape, he is dominant off the edge. He gives me Von Miller vibes. Like, complete, his motor, he has a quick type of, rush to him. He has a quick type of, when this ball snaps, he is on there. He is right there. But the thing is, I do agree with some of the other viewers and the other callers when they say sometimes he kind of gives up on the play a little bit. But that could be fixed with Saleh. That could be fixed. He could say, hey, you got to give more. Robertson could say, hey, you got to give more effort on this play or something like that. That's coaching. You could simply coach effort into a player and make a player inspire into a team and buy into a team. So that's what I really think about Kayvon Thibodeau. I think we should get him if we have the chance. But if we do pass up on him, I could go Sauce Gardner at 4 or Kyle Hamilton at 4 because that defense. Wow, you willing to take a safety that high? Yeah, I mean, this guy Kyle Hamilton is my 3rd best player in the draft. I love Kyle Hamilton. He is that good. I'm hearing stuff like, he's Ed Reed 2.0. He's this guy that he's Jamal Adams that can cover. I mean, okay. I can't pass that up. So let's stay here because I really want to have this discussion with you. I hear a lot of that, and I've heard people talk about him being Ed Reed. It's the Ed Reed thing for me, I think, has been a bit overblown. I remember when people were comparing Jamal Adams and saying that he was Ed Reed. I remember that. All right. I understand that Kyle Hamilton is a phenomenal player. I can't stand the school that he goes to, but I see talent. I get it. He's a great player, but he's a safety, and we don't need a safety, right? When I look at our needs, and because we're in a position where we need to address needs, we must address our needs. Bringing in a safety, right, doesn't help our pass rush because we've done that before. We had Jamal Adams here, and he was, at the time that he was here, he was one of the more dominant safeties in the league, and we were getting our butts handed to us on a weekly basis because we didn't have our position of impact intact. We had no pass rush. We couldn't get after anybody at all. So my question then becomes, okay, why am I taking Kyle Hamilton at 4 when we have so many other needs elsewhere? Why would I look to take a safety when we still need offensive line help, when a lot of people are talking about wide receiver as well, and we'll get into that in just a second because I want to hear your takes on that too, when we're talking about that clearly we need a pass rusher, right? Because Carl Lawson coming back, we don't really know, but even if he does, we still need more help there. Why am I taking a safety there when there's so many other needs that we've seen kill us for years? Why would I do that? Well, we're seeing a lot of, edge rushers rise up a little bit, like guys like Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State and Trayvon Walker out of UGA. So maybe we can have a chance of picking them up, or heck, maybe we can get Carl Loftus at 10.
I mean, you possibly have a safety and an edge. But I get the wide receiver is a need. I would love to get a wide receiver at 10, to be completely honest. That's probably my best spot for a wide receiver at 10. But but if we do take a safety, I do agree with you. I think we should double down on the defense and get an edge at 10.
Okay. So we'll talk about that in a second, but you said you'd look to take a wide receiver at 10. What wide receiver are you taking there? Because I hear a lot of talk about Garrett Wilson, who's a great player. I hear a lot of talk about Drake London is there. What are you doing at 10 then? What wide receiver are you taking?
Garrett Wilson. I think he fits this offense to a T. I think I see a couple plays from our playbook that Ohio State uses, wide receiver screens, stuff that we use Berrios with the jet sweeps. He is a great run after the catch type player as well. I feel like he would be a perfect number one receiver for Zach Wilson. And by the way, Wilson to Wilson sounds like a pretty cool combo to me. Yeah. I mean, okay. You can put that at the back of the Daily News, Wilson to Wilson for the win. But
okay. No, I hear.
Another guy I want to mention is not a lot of people are talking about Treylon Burks. I mean, I get the reason, like he didn't really run that fast, but people are comparing him to a Deebo Samuel type. I kind of see that too. I kind of like that idea that we're kind of copycatting the Niners a little bit, and we should look into Treylon Burks. And they did interview him for a pre-draft interview, so I'm very interested in how approach Treylon Burks and how he can fit into this offense, because if he is what people think he could be, like a Deebo Samuel type, I mean, we are really set with our wide receiver one, to be perfectly honest. I mean, not a lot of people are talking about him at 10.
Yeah, we've talked about him before on the show, and like you said as well, ever since the Combine there's been a lot of people that seem to have soured on him, and there's a lot of talk about him dropping. There's people talking about he might be available in the top of the second round. And I remember this was a guy that was talked about as, hey, look, he's a first round, hands down. There's no question about it. And now a lot of people saying he might be available in the second round. So that's crazy to hear. But my final question for you, as we talk about this wide receiver position here, there's also been a lot of rumors swirling about A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. My final question before I let you go is, if you have to trade for one of those wide receivers, which one are you trading for, and what is the most that you're willing to give up? Capital and cash, because you got to sign those guys to a contract.
Okay. So with A.J. Brown, he has a little bit more of an injury history. With DK Metcalf, you get more of he's not really that much injured, and he seems more durable. And he seems more complete as a wide receiver. And he also would be a great, and both of them would be great assets. DK would be more of a better number one than an A.J. Brown would be. That's not bashing anything about A.J. Brown, but I would prefer DK Metcalf. But I would trade. I mean, I would trade my 2-2s, probably the same type of trade that we were about to trade for Tyreek Hill.
For Tyreek Hill. Okay, so let me do this. What if Seattle says, we don't want no 2-2s, dog? We're not interested in that. We want you to give us that 10th pick in the first round back, and we want you to give us a second rounder as well. Are you doing that for DK Metcalf?
Okay. Now this is tough.
Are you doing it?
You know what? I might take that deal, because think about this. We still have a first-round pick, and we still have a second-round pick. So if we just get rid of the first-round pick and the second-round pick for a quality player, I mean, it's pretty good. We didn't give up the entirety of the future. I mean, we gave up some of it. We didn't give up the entirety of it. So we still have a first and we still have a second. So we're still on track.
So before I let you go, what are you paying him per year? If he comes to the table and says, listen, we're ready to make this trade, I want $22 million per year, are you doing it?
I'm giving him the money. I mean, if he can be that type of guy for us, that number one, that elite wide receiver for us to compete with the Bills and compete with the Dolphins and compete with the Patriots and say, hey, and say it to the rest of the AFC East, we are here and we are here to compete against you guys. So I would give him that money.
Listen, let's give Joe a round of applause, please. Give him a hand, guys. Give him a hand. Okay. Whoa. Not too much, studio audience. I don't pay y'all for that, okay? I just said clap a little bit. I didn't say clap a lot, okay? Y'all not getting extra money out of me because you clap more than you should, okay? This guy, Joe, brought some takes tonight, okay? That was a fire take, Joe. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. I'm going to get back to these lines. You have yourself a good one, my friend.
All right, you too, Joe.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Joe brought some takes. He stuck to it. He said, yes, I'm giving the guy the cash, okay? I'm giving him the cash. Listen, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're going to keep going to these lines. Again, the Eagles and the Saints have made the trade. You know, there's going to be a draft shakeup. The Saints get the 16th pick, the 19th pick, the 194th pick, which is a sixth-rounder. The Eagles get the 18th pick in the first round. They get the 101 pick, which is a third-round pick. They get the 237th pick, which is a seventh-round pick. That was all in this upcoming draft. In 2023, they get the Eagles, or they get the Saints' first-round pick, and then they get the Saints' second-round pick in 2024. Whew, that's a shakeup. That affects us because there was a lot of people talking about the Eagles being a trade partner. To me, I think that opens the door for Jalen Hurts to stay with the Eagles and prove to the Eagles that he can be their guy going into the future. So we're going to talk about that as well. I got to bring that up. We can keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, CT. CT, we're coming directly to you. Angelo, Bill, Steve, D from the Bronx. We'll get to you in a second. Salute to you, CT. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. We didn't have a lot of discussions here, CT. We talking about the Jets pass rush, my boy. Give me your thoughts about these fans talking about passing up Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. Are you one of those guys as well?
Salute to you first and foremost. Glad to be here on the show. But yeah, when it comes to KT, I don't have any reservations on it. I think if the Jets want him, take him at 4, and let's just get with let's pair him up with Carl Lawson. You know, I think that he has. I think he's a high character guy personally. I think he cares about his brand, of course. You know, New York is actually a good place for his brand if he wants to be there. However, if this was like Adam Gase as our coach, I would not take him. I'm going to be honest with you. If Adam Gase was our coach, I would not take him. I think pairing him up with a Robert Saleh defensive-minded coach who also knows how to get the best out of defensive linemen and the defensive edge rushers, perfect marriage right there. You know, so I wouldn't mind KT. I wouldn't mind KT at all. Now, if he's not there, there's other ways I would go. But I think he's the guy we should take. I think that he's the guy that we can take if he doesn't fall. And, yeah, I'm with it.
Okay, so I hear you, CT. And, again, I want to thank you for calling in. Now, you brought up, you opened the door. You're saying, hey, if he's not there, which is a great possibility that he might not be there, then what are you doing it for? What other pass rusher are you looking at saying, hey, I'll be able to grab this guy and bring him in? Or are you willing to trade down and take a guy?
If he's not, I'm not trading down with our first pick. I'm taking somebody. And if he's not there at 4, I'm not taking an edge rusher. If he and Aiden Hutchinson are not there, I'm not taking an edge rusher until 10. I think that the best course of action would be to get Sauce Gardner. Number 4 pick, get Sauce, get number 10. You can either get Carl Lawson, you can get Jermaine Johnson, you can get Trayvon Walker if he falls. So one of those 3 should be the 10. So that's what I would do. I'm a defensive guy. This is me personally. I don't think the Jets will go defense both picks in the draft, but because everybody's the wide receiver. Now this is if we don't trade for a wide receiver, But if we don't trade for a wide receiver, if we do, then there's no problem. Then we can, get them both. Hopefully, we trade with just the 2-second picks. But if me take Sauce with the 10, with the 4, and then with the 10, take either Jermaine Johnson, Carl Lawson, or Trayvon Walker, whichever one you want, or whoever falls to 10. And I think we should shore up that defense, help them out, because I think that a lot of moves have been made to a lot of these offensive sides of our AFC East teams, not to make a move based off of their decisions, but we also have a 32nd ranked defense in the entire league. So we need upgrades all the defense.
But do we really? And I hear what you're saying, CT. And I know, listen, Sauce Gardner is phenomenal corner, right? But here's my deal. when people talk about taking him at 4, especially when, again, there's other edge rushers out there. Again, Travon Walker could be there, which I would do in a trade down. I would trade down to 6 or trade down to 8, where I think he would still be there and we'd be able to grab him. But when I look at our corner position, a lot of people bringing up Sauce, I say, well, Bryce Hall played extremely well for us last year. He was our number 1. He looked good. Honestly, our secondary exceeded our expectations. A lot of people looked and said that our secondary was going to get shredded last year, and it really didn't. There were, especially when we played like the Bengals. Dude, Jamar Chase did not destroy us, and a lot of that was work with Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall played well as our number 1 corner. We just brought in DJ Reed, who has extreme familiarity with the system. He's going to be pegged in as, I guess, our number 2. That's what a lot of people are saying. We just paid him $33 million. You got Michael Carter in the slot, who's a phenomenal young corner, right? This guy was one of the better slot corners in the league, and this was his rookie year. He's going to come back and excel as well. Then you had Eccles, who stepped up too and played very well on the second side. He had some flashes this year. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be fine. He was nicked up a little bit, but we saw him play well. So when I look at this situation, I say, okay, if we're drafting Sauce Gardner, where exactly is he going? Because I don't think our secondary is as bad as people think it is. What I think has happened is I think that our defense has suffered due to the fact that we have no pass rush. We don't have anybody to get after you. Carl Lawson was gone this season. John Franklin Myers was in flux. There were days where he would just disappear out there on the field. If you have 50 years to throw the football, I don't give a damn what secondary you got. They're going to give up plays. They're going to look like it's strict and strapped at times. I don't think our secondary is bad. Give me your thoughts on that.
Me and you had this conversation before about the whole Carl Hamilton thing, which is another person I could take that for. However, this is what I'm saying to you. When it comes to our defense, it's not just the pass rush. It's both. They both need to be upgraded. We don't have like a good secondary. Like, just so you guys know, we don't have a great secondary. We don't. They're decent. They were better than we expected. And getting a corner or a safety, I think, can add and upgrade it significantly. Now, that's just me. I think that we can do both at the same time. I just said, first round, we got 2 picks. Let's take an edge, which is on the line, and then take something in the secondary as well. That's what I would do because it shores up 2 positions on our defense. Now, if you're saying we don't need a corner, I disagree. I don't think Eccles is all that great. So I do think that when we swap out Bryce Hall, we need somebody else. When we swap out DJ Reed, we need somebody else. You know, let's say when somebody gets injured. You know, that's whole. That's all. I like depth at cornerback, and I like depth at certain positions. Go ahead.
And I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying when you talk about depth. I don't mean to cut you off. I hear what you're saying when you talk about depth. But depth should those mid-round picks should be used for depth. When you're looking at first round, 4th pick in the draft, when you're looking at 10th pick in the draft, those picks need to be utilized for areas of significant need. Because we need depth on our offensive line too. But I'm not looking to take another tackle. We already got one. You get what I'm saying? Like, we need to attack positions of need. And I hear phenomenal. I get it. But I'm just asking Jets fans, hey, I'm looking around. I'm saying we got these corners. We just brought in DJ Reed. You've got Bryce Hall, DJ Reed. That shores up our corner position. You look around, we ain't got no damn pass rusher. We don't have one. So if Kayvon's not there, what are you doing? Go ahead.
I just told you get one at 10. There's going to be a good pass rusher still there at 10. It's not like just because we got 2 top 10 picks. People act like, oh, my God, if we take a certain position, we're going to miss out completely on another player. We got 2 in the top 10. You know how rare that is? So, like, when I look at it from this point is that with one of those picks, we have the option to take a luxury like a Carl Hamilton or Sauce Gardner, who actually is a great culture guy as well. Now, this is just my opinion. It's not a popular opinion. And I don't mean to say we don't need edge. I'm saying we could take an edge at 10 if Kayvon's not there. That's what I said. I said Kayvon first. So Kayvon, I want to be a Jet. Who's there?
Yeah. Yeah, but my thing is I hear you. If Kayvon's not there, I hear the talk about corner, and I get it. I get the depth. But why not take a guy like Travon Walker? Why not? Why not take him at 4?
If you want to
trade down to 6? Okay. I'm asking questions.
With the trade downs, you got to have somebody willing to trade up, and for something. At the end of the day, I don't talk trades until it happens. Me personally, I take what we have, and I say this is what I will take at that number. Now, granted, trading down or up, I wouldn't do it with the 4th, the 10th. I would rather trade down with the 10th and get an extra pick or trade up with the second-round picks. Those are my two options. But with the fourth pick, take whoever you want. The Jets, take whoever you think is the best player for your team at number 4. You have a top 4 pick, take them. Unless we're getting a haul for the fourth-round pick or we get a first round next year and all that, then, yeah, cool, trade it. But if it's not that and you're just swapping picks and getting like another second or another third or something like that, nah. Take who you want. And if it's Kayvon, cool. If you guys think Trayvon's that dude, take Trayvon. But for me personally, I think Sauce is that dude. And I think Sauce is not only just a guy who's elite, I think he has the attitude and the swagger that the team needs. And I know it might not be the wisest thing, but that's what I want. I think having him, DJ Reed, and Bryce Hall, so, you pretty much aren't going to have somebody who's not elite on the field at some point. You're always, whether they're taking a stop off, we still got somebody elite taking a spot for them. And rather than, hey, now we got Echols there, which he might get burnt. Or we have Isaiah Dunn there, and he might get burnt. And then I don't like that scenario. And then you talk about the edge. I do think there will be a George Karlaftis at 10. I don't see him falling past. I don't see him going before 10. I personally don't. He might. I think some change. But George Karlaftis is a really good rusher. He's a really good pass rusher. Just taking somebody early doesn't mean that they're automatically better than who's taken after them. And I think that we think that just because someone's taken at 4 means they're better than. No, I'm thinking taking Sauce at 4 is a strategy because I don't think he's lasting for 10. I don't think he's lasting for 10. So I think there are rushers you can get. And there's no cornerback, I think, better than Sauce. There's no safety better than Hamilton. So I want to take a significant risk on a pick that is going to be head and shoulders above the next guys that are in their class. That's what I would do that for.
No, listen.
And that's why I think that's what I do.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you there. I don't, we can agree to disagree because I damn sure don't want to take no safety at 4. But I hear you, CT. We've gone back and forth. You already know you're my guy. So now my next question for you is, there's a lot of Jets fans talking about A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and there's rumors swirling, man. Okay. When you look at those 2 wide receivers, if I forced you to make a trade for one of them, who are you taking? Are you taking DK or are you taking A.J. Brown?
DK, my guy, man. DK. This dude, man, I wanted him since he came out of college, man. So if he can come to jail, if the thing can through, he fell, and I'm like, yo, why are we not taking this guy? Why are we not taking this guy? He's like, and I'm like, we didn't get him. Seattle got him the 3rd round, man. And he's been a stud ever since. He's a dog. He's, he pushes himself, even going and, trying to try out the Olympics and all this. Like, this guy is a serious athlete. On top of that, when he walks onto the field, he's just an imposing presence. And that's what I think we need on this team. That's why I want to take a Sauce, because he's a presence when he's there. That's what I want to hear. DK, if we can get him, I wouldn't trade a top pick, a top first-round pick for him, but if we can get him, I think he's an imposing figure where when he's on that field, you got to account for him. You got to see where he's at.
Okay.
So
here's my question.
That attitude, we're missing that attitude on the game.
Listen, and I hear you, CT. I hear what you're saying. But my final question for you, before I let you go, I'll give you the floor for a second. If Seattle comes to you and says, I want the 10th pick and I want a second-round pick from you, are you still making that trade?
No, you can keep that.
You're not giving up the 10th pick? You're not giving up the 10th pick or the second-round pick?
Me personally, I'm not. Me personally, I'm not. And I don't think Joe Douglas is either. Okay. I think he was going to give up 2 second rounds for Tyreek Hill, and I don't think he's going to go beyond that for DK. I really don't. But I could be wrong. The market does change. However, I would say this. Listen, when it comes to wide receiver talent, there's a lot of wide receiver talent in the draft. So I'd rather take our picks that are in the top 35 picks and get 4 elite players to add to our team than get 1 big wide receiver name. And that's just my opinion. I'd rather fill out more holes on our team because we're only in the second year of this rebuild, kind of. Like, I feel like it's the second year, with Zach being here, Robert Saleh being here, Michael Floor. This is the second year they've had together. So I want to just keep on stacking those picks, get people that are young in our system. If next year there's a big receiver name out there, go all out, go get them, or a big edge presence or a big whatever, linebacker. Spend your money and just get the remaining pieces. This year, take your picks, choose wisely, and I respect our scouting staff after last year. choose wisely and
Mm-hmm.
get some real studs throughout the draft and keep on building that way for this year. If we can't get, if we have to take a first round pick for DK, if it's a second round pick or 2 seconds, go ahead and get him.
Okay, listen, CT, I hear you, man. Listen, CT, I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
You too, man. Take care. And nice talking to you. Peace.
All right, great talking to you as well. Listen, CT brought some heat. He stands on his takes. I respect it. Listen, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Lines are hot. We're going to get back. Please, again, smash that like button. Share the stream as well, you know what I'm saying, with all your friends and family. And if you like to give to the stream, Super Chat's there. Cash App is there as well. Please give anything that you can. Anything that you give to the stream is greatly appreciated. Greatly, greatly appreciated, you know. And salutes to my guy, V-Man2937 for the big donation. I said salutes to my guy, V-Man2937 with the big donation. Salutes to him for, again, giving to the platform. He said, who else tonight learned that Woody Johnson's wife was, from Ukraine tonight? I'm proud to be a Jets fan. Salutes to him, man. Salutes. Again, thank you for giving to the platform, man. So we're going to get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, we're going to my guy in North Carolina, Bill, Angelo, Steve, D. We'll get to you in a second. Salutes to my guy. What's going on with you, my friend? We all know you know your Jets. Yo, listen, we're talking edge rush tonight. Yeah. Give me your thoughts about all these fans that want to pass up on Kayvon Thibodeau. Do you agree with their takes?
No, absolutely not. This team is in dire need of explosive edge rushers. From what I've seen of Kayvon Thibodeau, I've been taking a look and studying him for months. And he seems to have all the traits that we're looking for in someone who can develop into a dominant edge rusher. We've been needing a dominant edge rusher since John Abraham. That's the popular saying among us Jet fans, and Thibodeau fits the mold. I think the only difference is I think we need to take 2. I think we got to pick 4 and 10 for that purpose to improve the edge rush, and I think fundamentally change this team in a massive way in our pass rush. Because I believe if we start rushing the passer, we'll start getting off the field. Because looking at all these quarterbacks that are currently in this conference, let's say we had a conference full of Matt Joneses and Tuas, then I would be kind of rolling with going and maybe, if we couldn't land Thibodeau, going maybe take a corner and safety. Maybe we can confuse them on the back end. But looking at the quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, you've got to get it done on that first level. There's no other way around it. We've got to get our pass rush together. We got a great opportunity, and I think that'll help Quentin Williams and John Franklin Myers tremendously. To me, I'm taking Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, and I'm praying and crossing my fingers that Jermaine Johnson is there at 10. If I can get both of these guys, it's a home run. It's an A+ draft. Then the wide receiver position, you can let that slide down the board because people tend to forget. We do have Lawson, who's looking to bounce back. We do have Elijah Moore, Michael Carter. We've upgraded this offensive line significantly with Lincoln Thomas. I like what we're doing on that side of the ball. We have to just bring this defense up to the standard. It performed so poorly last year, which is historic for this franchise, which I've never seen before. Our defense performed this poorly. Couldn't stop the run, couldn't rush the passer. We didn't do anything very well at all. So the way to go is to, go on and not mess around. Go get your edge rushers while you can, because you can't land them in free agency. You remember Khalil Mack? Yeah. When that trade was made, that's a very rare trade. Most times teams will either re-sign those guys or they will franchise tag them. They never let them hit the market, and they practically never trade them because they're such a rare commodity, rare jewels, So I think the way to go is to get the edge rushers. We can't go wrong if we get the edge rushers. If we get Thibodeau, Jermaine Johnson, to me, that's a home run. That's an A+ draft. I don't think anyone can begrudge Joe Douglas going that route because this team is in such dire need. It's not as though we don't need another wide receiver, but looking at the current crop, you got Olave, you got Michi, you got other guys further down the board. It's a possibility you can add another one and we'll be fine, with that group and what we already currently have on our roster. Edge rushers is most dire need. We have to improve this defense. And the inability to rush the quarterback It's like a domino effect. When you can't rush the quarterback and quarterbacks are able to just sit back there and pick you apart and get comfortable, it's not good. We've seen that. And I've been wanting to see the New York Stock Exchange resurrected for decades. When the Jets took John Abraham, I had some hopes maybe, they can go to the 4-3 and be dominant. And then when they passed on Warren Sapp, that's what really messed us up. You imagine a front four with Warren Sapp and John Abraham on the same front. I was kind of envisioning that. And then when Kyle Brady's name was called, I was like, oh, my God. I'll never forget that. I was sick. I mean, I could hear the fans in the stadium. That's when it used to be, it was always draft at that time, was always had at Radio City Music Hall. And I remember watching TV and watching the draft, and the Jet fans were cheering for Sapp. Yes, the pick is in. We're going to take Sapp. And then when I heard it said, the New York Jets select Kyle Brady, I was like, oh, my God.
I remember, man, that was crazy. So when you look at this situation, because I know you want to take Ed at 4-10, I get that. So when you look at the second round, there's a lot of Jets fans that now want to see us target Jameson Williams. There's a lot of talk about him being available there. Is he a guy that you think the New York Jets should be interested in that second round, and are you concerned about his ACL injury? Because he's a speed guy, and ACLs can, jack up that speed. So that's my last question for you. I'll give you the floor.
Oh, yeah. Now, Jameson Williams, I'm hearing some good reports about him trying to work his way back. I think the only thing Joe Douglas and his medical staff's got to be make sure to confirm is what is the timetable for him and when do they think he can return to the field and at what capacity. They've got to get the right medical reports and be absolutely sure about that before they make that pick. Now, Jameson Williams is a guy, if he slides down the board, let's say at 24, 25, his name is not called, the Jets are in position, because we have the draft picks to strike. Pick 35, 38, they can probably package pick 35, flip those picks, maybe that pick from Carolina, and maybe add a future pick maybe next year, maybe a mid-round pick. That package should be able to get it done. And jump into that top 10, the last 10 picks of the first round, we should be able to jump in there and land him. What do you think?
Yeah, that's something that we could do. I've talked about packaging picks, in that and early in that second round, the top to jump back in to the late first. There are some guys that could be there as well. So that's a good idea there. That really is a good take.
But when that talk was circulating months ago, it was for Trey McBride. Since we've improved our tight end room, now the hot pick is the wide receiver. Now possibly we can jump back in there, either Chris Olave or Jameson Williams, one of these top-rated wide receivers. I think it's probably
Treylon Burks. That's
Burks.
Right. He's a guy that a lot of people are talking about falling to. I'll take him.
I like Trayvon Burks, but I'm a little nervous about where his route tree is and how polished he is, that kind of thing coming off the Denzel Mims experiment. I'm a little nervous, especially if a guy is not very polished, you know what I'm saying? That's why I like Jameson Williams. When he comes out of Alabama, you trust Prophet coming out of that because that's a very good program. You got to be really good and on point to play for Alabama,
Yep. Yeah, well, I look at it like this, man. They come in. A lot of his comparisons are to Deebo Samuels, which, again, would be a complete fit within this offense. But I think he's a lot better. I think a lot of people are starting to sour on him simply because of what happened at the Combine. That's really what I think happened. And ever since, there's been a lot of talk because he ran, I think, like a 4.5 something at the Combine. A lot of people thought he should be faster. And then all this talk about his route. Dude, I think that he would be a good fit within this offense. But listen, my friend, I got to get back to these lines, man. Go ahead. I'll let you finish your thought.
I'm sorry. Last point is I think the most important thing that people have to look at is how they look on video in the pads. That's the most important thing than the combine numbers. We all know the combine numbers is fool's gold. If you don't believe it, look up YouTube. Take a look at the NFL Network's top 9 all-time bust of all time. And you'll see a ton of those guys that the NFL Network did a special on that. Tony Mandry, all these guys that were freaks that looked the part. But when they went to the NFL, they just couldn't make that transition. They struggled, and they were bugged.
Yep. There's been a lot of workout warriors. I mean, we've seen it. Vernon Golston, workout warrior. But,
that's right.
Listen, my friend, I want to thank you for calling in, my man. It was great to speak to you. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You take care, Joe.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, these lines is hot. Salute to him. And, Going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I want to thank everyone for calling. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Please give the stream a thumbs up, all right? It's greatly appreciated. Also share it with your friends and family. Next, I'm going to my guy, Bill. Bill, I'm coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Bill. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Bill, we're talking edge rush, man. That's what we're talking about tonight. There's a lot of Jets fans that don't want Kayvon Thibodeau. Are you on that train?
What is up, my neighbor, Big Joe? Hope you're doing all right, man.
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Well, it's going good, man. You might not be good after this call because I'm going to go, and I'm not a Thibodeau guy. I'm not a Thibodeau guy at 4. I'll let you know why.
Okay.
I think that you look at what Joe has put together in terms of the type of mindset of these guys who he has coming in the building, and I don't see his Thibodeau fitting that right now. And a lot of people, I was watching some footage before the combine, so I don't know about the comments he made. I read a lot of things about what he said. I didn't watch it myself, but just before all of that, there was a lot of YouTube out. You know, he's all into strategy. He's all in the chess. He's all into his own thing, and you know, in terms of how he implements, and it's impressive. You take a look at some of his games. A lot of people say they don't see production out of the guy. That's the first half. They need to look at the second half because he stresses in a lot of his videos and a lot of these pieces they do in ESPN about how he's in a strategy. You know, he sets up a lot of guys. He sets up the offensive line, kind of lax. He kind of gives weak moves in the beginning. Second half, he comes on. So you see a lot of activity in the second half. A lot of guys don't watch that long. They get bored and they call him a bum and they just move on to the next guy. I think that I like that, but how is that going to work in an organized defense where there's responsibilities and you can't just kind of freelance all the time when you're expected to do things? And he's already mentioned he's about his brand, which is fine. Everyone should be about their brand. You know, he's a young man. He has dreams beyond football. He made that clear. But at the end of the day, I don't see Joe taking him because of for a lot of reasons, just the uncertainty, a lot of things floating around. If they pick him, that's going to tell me that Joe's done his research and the guy's straight and lined up, and I'm good for that. But based on what I see, and we're not going to know what goes on behind closed doors, but from what we see, I would be surprised if they picked him at 4. 10 maybe, but 4, I'm not 100% sure. So the next question, is who's at 4, right?
Yeah, what are you doing at 4? If you don't want Kayvon Thibodeau, let's just say he's off the board. Him, Hutchinson off the board. Okay. What are you doing at 4 then? What are you doing? Who are you getting to address this edge rush issue?
You're not going to like this either, but I'm of the Sauce Gardner camp because you address your pass rush either through having guys on the line put pressure on the quarterback or taking away receivers, which when you watched last year, we had guys who, our whole strategy was keeping it underneath. Right? They didn't have guys who could play man that well. They didn't have a lot of faith in the man guys. Bryce Young, you look back at Bryce Hall, you look back at college, he played man. He played a lot of different, positions all over the field for Virginia. He came off the injury. They're getting their feet wet with him. Look at Sauce. Sauce will take away half of the field, and he consistently does that. I like Sauce. I know we have picked up Reed. We got a lot of guys in the defensive backfield, but, this is a guy I think that improves your defense on both levels, taking away half the field. Because most teams now, it's not like the old days you had one dominant receiver. They're getting 2-3 guys who can catch the ball. That's one of the issues the Jets had, to keep it in front of you, but everyone's catching the ball. You're not getting pressure to force the quarterback to make mistakes. So you have to address, like we all agree we need a better pass rush, and I know we do, but I don't see anyone outside of Hutchinson and Thibodeau at 4. I think you pick that makes me as comfortable as going to impact your defense as Sauce Gardner. I don't see anybody else you can name who's going to have that instant impact. And then when you look at 10, or even going into the high second round, there's a lot of guys. You look at the numbers, you crunch the numbers, you look at some tape at some guys who are not getting a lot of publicity out there, not the household names that they're putting on Sports Center. A lot of guys out there who can contribute, and even to the point where you look at Thibodeau's production. Like I said, it's not it wasn't over his career. It wasn't like the best of the guys in the draft because he played a strategic game, which is great. Put some pressure on quarterbacks, but from a performance standpoint, they're guys who had better production.
Okay, I hear you. All right, I'm not saying that Sauce Gardner is bad. I think he's phenomenal. I'm just saying where exactly is he going? Like that's my big question, and nobody can really answer that because if you're telling me that Bryce Hall played very well last year for us, so we got DJ Reed. We just paid him $33 million. he to me is the cog that's going to go into that second cornerback spot. I'm looking at Michael Carter. I'm looking at Echols, and I'm just saying, okay, well, where is Sauce going? Does he automatically step in as our number one? And if so, okay, then what are we doing? Again, we still have a hole here at pass rusher. I think Sauce is phenomenal. I think he is.
Right.
But I just want to hear people's takes. I want to, I'm playing devil's advocate. I want to hear your takes about, okay, where is he going? So I hear you. So my final question.
Put him in number one.
My final question.
Put him in number one. Like you said.
All right.
Yeah. We did not see we did not see a whole lot of man. Did we see a whole lot of man? That's the issue, is that we played everything off because we couldn't play man. They didn't have a lot of confidence and faith in guys, and Sauce can do that. That changes your whole defense. Fine, you can play Sauce number one, take the best receiver, play some other guys off, or give them a little more flexibility to play man. And if we have to trade guys, we trade guys. That's not a bad thing to do. Right. We have some guys who have some trade assets in the draft to pick Sauce, and some guys have to go. They have to go.
Yeah. Okay. So how about this? Now I'm looking at the situation, and I'm saying, okay, I'm guessing you're addressing edge at 10. Quick take. Give me the edge rusher that you're taking at 10 then.
You're going to hate this one, but Kingsley Enagbare, South Carolina. If I had to take one, I would take that guy. So I would take him if I had. If
Jermaine Johnson's there, you're still taking. If you're still taking Kingsley, right?
I like Jermaine Johnson. I just I saw a lot of good out of him. I just like Enagbare better. I think you can move him a little bit more online. He's a little bit of a bigger guy, which fits in well because, we have Franklin Myers, we can move him around. So I think that fits a little bit better than having just one guy who's going to play from one position. You can't really move him around, which I think would help them. Jermaine Johnson, I like them a lot. And I think I would roll the dice on that on Kingsley. I like him a little bit better.
Okay. Look, I hear your takes. Listen, Bill, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. This was a phenomenal call from you. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
Listen, Bill calling in. He said he's looking, I don't have a problem with Sauce at 4. I'm just saying I want to hear where he's going. Because to me, our secondary isn't as bad as I think a lot of people think it is. I think we need an edge rusher. An edge rusher would really change the look of our defense. We need edge pressure. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy, Steve. Angelo, Tommy, Mickey will come to you in a second. Steve, salute to you. Listen, Steve, we're talking edge rusher, man. Give me your thoughts about who you're taking at 4. Are you a guy that wants to pass up on Kayvon Thibodeau? Are you one of those guys, too?
Hey, Joe. First off, thank you again for having me on the show. It's always great to talk to you. No, listen, here is the thing right now. When I'm looking at the situation right now, I think no matter what happens at number 4, whatever edge rusher is there, that is who the Jets need to get. We need a pass rusher for this draft. We need a pass rusher. Sure. I know that some Jets fans were even saying that now that there were possibilities of us taking Gardner at number 4. I mean, nothing against Gardner. I think he's a phenomenal talent, and he is now considered the best corner going into this draft. And I know some Jets fans do some Jets fans do like where the secondary is at right now. But, I mean, it's really going to depend on what happens. So, but let me tell you something. Kayvon Thibodeau, if he is there at number 4, and if he is the only edge rusher there, I take him. Because let me tell you something. I know some Jets fans are comparing him that don't want him to, like, Javady and Clowney and, like, a couple of other edge rushers that never panned out in the NFL. But, if he is there at number 4 and if he is available, you have to take it. I mean, listen, I said this to you before. The edge rusher I want the Jets to get, but even though I think he is going to go number 1 or number 2, and that's Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. Listen, everybody all knows I watched the Big Ten football. I'm a Rutgers fan. Yeah. I've watched Michigan football before. Aiden Hutchinson is a monster, but I don't think he's going to be there at number 4. Let me tell you something. If Aiden Hutchinson is there at number 4, I'm just going to say this. If Aiden Hutchinson would be there, I would be going right to Joe Douglas and tell him, take him.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Steve. Now, my next and final question for you is, when you look at this situation here, I know Kayvon Thibodeau for you at 4 is good to go. Well, we're looking at our offense right now. There's a lot of people looking at that 10 pick and saying, hey, we can make some moves. There's a lot of talks about A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf making a move for either one of those guys. If I'm forcing you to trade for them, who are you deciding to take, man? Are you taking DK or are you taking A.J.?
You know, I really like both of the receivers very much. But if I had to pick between the two of them right now, I would pick DK Metcalf because Metcalf is a monster. I mean, I don't know if you ever watched him play before, Joe, but when he is on the field, he is a monster. And the thing is, I know DK Metcalf is going to be on another team at some point during the season. I don't see him with the Seahawks going into 2022 because, listen, we all know that Seattle is going through a rebuild, and they're starting all over again. And I know Metcalf is not going to want to be part of a rebuilding team. Now, I would be happy with A.J. Brown, too. I would be happy with him, too. But if I had to pick between the two of them, I pick DK right now.
Okay. So before I let you go, I'm going to give you the floor. If DK says, hey, because you gotta extend that deal, you got to give him a new deal. If he asks for $22 million per season, are you giving that to him?
Oh. You know what? With the money that we have now, I would give it to him.
That's what I'm. Okay, all right, Steve.
Here we go. Hey, Joe.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, but it's just a couple of other things. Just wanted to talk to you about really quickly because you know, with the state of where this team is at now, listen, Joe. I don't know what is going to happen because you have no idea what's going to happen though in the future in the next 2 weeks coming up before the draft comes. Joe.
That's a fact. Listen, Steve, it is insane. There's so many crazy things going on, so many things moving. There's been so many trades made. It's been nuts. But the New York Jets finding their way and continuing to find a way to address the edge rush, continue to address the offense is going to be huge for us, Steve. So I like what we're doing here. I like some of the options that we have coming up in the draft. I mean, it's phenomenal, Steve. It really is phenomenal. Joe Douglas is big for us, man. Extremely big for us. He's going to continue to do his thing. So I want to thank Steve for calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Angelo. Angelo, I'm coming directly to you. Quickly, give me some of your takes. Give me your thoughts on these people that want to pass up on Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. Is that something that you want to do as well? Angelo? Angelo, are you there? I think we might have lost Angelo. All right, we'll keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy, Mickey. Mickey, salute to you. I want you to give me your thoughts, Mickey, on a lot of Jets fans want to pass up on Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. Is that something you'd like to see happen as well?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for taking my call, Joe. I had to get Angelo out of here so I can get on first, but that's neither here nor there. I like to think of the Jets Nation, and I'm kidding, by the way. I don't want anyone to call defense or anything, but I like to think of the Jets Nation, Jets fans. They're a lot like professional wrestling fans. They're both the best and worst fan base in all of football. We say we want to get better, and then we don't want to follow the right prospects. I mean, I remember when Warren Sapp was in the draft, there was a lot of rumors going around, and we didn't wind up picking him, and then we got some guy named Kyle, and I think Warren had a pretty okay career, I think. But
yeah, he was all right.
I think if this guy's talking about his brand, whatever that means, I mean, he's going to want to, at nothing else, he's going to want to perform well to protect his brand. He's not going to get drafted to the Jets, then phone it in and, wait for a second team to get him on a second contract. The guy's still going to play at a high level. And, the song remains the same since we lost John Abraham. I mean, we need a pass rusher. I mean, I can't do it by myself. Carl Lawson's coming off an Achilles injury, I think.
Yep.
So, it's going to take a while to get back up from that. If we have I don't want to say once in a lifetime, if we have one of the two best pass rushers at 4 and we can take one of them, we are in no position to pass up on them unless we want to keep taking picks in the top 5 for the next 2 decades. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be around for 2 more decades, but if, Jets fans that want to pass up on this, by all means, if you guys are going to be around for the party, sure.
Mickey, listen, I hear you, man. I don't understand where this is coming from. I know people talking about his brand and stuff like that, and he said, hey, he wants to work on his brand. I think a lot of players think about those things. They may not publicly say them like he did, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people think about their brand. A lot of people think about their money and things like that. But I'll tell you, when you turn on the film and you look at him, he's a phenomenal player. This guy gets after it. He's one of the most dominant edge rushers in this game. And like you said, we must address that in this upcoming draft. But listen, Mickey, time's getting short. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time you call in, man, call in a little bit earlier and we'll get directly to you, all right?
Listen, man, I call in when I call in, man. I got to keep you on your toes.
All right, you have a good one, Mickey. Listen, Mickey calling in, talking that talk. So we'll keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're getting a little short on time, but we're going to get to everybody. Give me your quick takes. Next, I'm going to 845. 845, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from. Give me your thoughts. Are you passing on Kayvon Thibodeau if he's there at 4?
Hey, Long Beach. My name's Trevor. I'm from New York. I actually just moved to North Carolina, though, so I'm calling you from here. So, am I passing on KT? I would say absolutely not if he's there. I think people are definitely overblowing the personal brand aspect. And if you watch him on film, I mean, definitely one of the better prospects of late. He's been a number 1 since high school, in the country and stuff. So he's been building this so-called brand for a while. So, I don't think it's really that crazy. And as you've been saying, I think the Jets' main thing is pass rush. Carl Lawson, questionable at best, how he's going to come back.
Yeah.
So, I think we could see. But, yeah, KT, I think, is a given at 4 if he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of turning. I told people that, hey, there's a lot of talk about him possibly being there, and there's Jets fans that don't want him. But we're going to keep getting into these lines. Listen, Trevor, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
For sure, man. You got it. Thanks for taking it.
All right, have a good one. Salute to Trevor. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, we're short on time. I want you guys to give me your quick hits. I'm going to my guy, Tommy. Tommy, I'm coming directly to you. Tommy, man, we've been talking. Edge rusher at 4. If you got to take one, who are you taking, my friend?
All right. What's up, Long Beach? Listen.
What's going on, man?
All right, man. Long time. Listen, I'm no Angelo, but I can see what I can try and entertain you guys a little bit. All right. All right. If I'm going out 4, you know from a long time I've been saying outside linebacker. We're waiting outside linebacker or an edge for 15 years now, right? So yeah,
a long time.
I'm going with Kayvon, man. Gonna go with Kayvon.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of flexibility. A lot of flexibility here. I know he's talking a lot of crap because he's a kid and he's trying to be cool on Twitter and all this other nonsense, talking a lot of smack. How no coach can tell him anything that he don't know and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's streets are talking. The streets are talking, and that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's a kid.
There's a lot of talk about a lot of things going on with him. I think a lot of it is overblown, man. I really do think that a lot of people are trying to paint this guy as a me guy, a selfish guy. There's tons of reports about how he's an alpha, he's a good locker room guy, he's a guy that you want around your football team. And then when you turn on the tape and you look at him, you see that he goes out there and he performs, Tommy. I just think he's getting a bad rap. But, man, I got to get back to these lines. I want to thank you for calling in, Tommy. Listen, next time I want to hear from you, man.
But my no.
So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy, Maxwell. We're short on time. This Maxwell is going to be the last caller. Salute to my guy, Maxwell. Maxwell, listen, we're talking about KT, man, all right? We're giving a lot of discussion about him. Give me your thoughts, man. If he's there at 4, are you taking him?
I mean, it depends. If Kayvon Thibodeau's there at 4, I mean, take him. I mean, if Kyle Hamilton's there, but there's been reports that Kyle Hamilton might fall in a draft. So if Kayvon Thibodeau's there, we should definitely pick up him at 4. He's the best edge rusher in 15 years. And if Kyle Hamilton's still on board at number 10 overall, we should take him.
Okay. All right. Listen, I hear you, man. What are your thoughts about Jets fans that want to pass on him, man? What are your thoughts about the bad rap that he's getting with his attitude and stuff like that? Don't you think a lot of this stuff is overblown?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very overblown. I don't know why Jets. I understand he's just a kid. I mean, it's not like. I mean, honestly, I think Kayvon Thibodeau is like the best edge rusher that we've seen in years.
Yeah. Listen, I hear you, Maxwell. Listen, Maxwell. Got to close out the show. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It was phenomenal to speak to you, my friend. You have a good one. Listen, this has been a hot show. We are short on time, and we have got to get going. So I'm going to close it out. I want to thank everyone for calling. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on the Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well, okay? Search at YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times, okay? We're short on time, but understand that young man is an unbelievable lineman, all right? Dominant rookie year, and he's from USC. Fight on. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we get Drake London in the draft too, but we're short on time, So you can also follow the show's page as well at The Long Beach Joe. I'm also on YouTube as well, okay? YouTube, Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on there. Go ahead, subscribe to the page, hit your notification bell so when I post content, you will be in the know. We game. We have a lot of fun. We talk about the Jets. We have fire shows like this one, full of just hot takes. So go ahead and hit that button, hit that subscribe button. Again, hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all be in the know. You want to troll me, hit those comments. And as always, people, all right, when you see me in person, it is arm open, chest out, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs are absolutely free. They will always remain free. I want to thank you folks for calling in and listening. Without you folks, I am absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to call in and listen to the show. All right, you folks are phenomenal. So I want to thank you folks for listening. You folks have a good one. Peace.